Hey Stitchy friends, Jade here, 310 Stitcher. Welcome to another Stitch With Me video. I have just finished work and I wanted to do a little bit of stitching, so I thought I would bring you along with me. We are going to be working on Merry Mushroom Village 3, which is from Amy Stewart's Merry Mushroom Village Picnic, which is beautiful. A beautiful piece. And it never fails. The first color I pick, I actually don't have any more of on my floss organizers. So I'll have to pull some of that out. Let's just pick a different color for now. How about 3801? So I hope you guys can see okay. I think so. As I said, welcome back to my channel. I really appreciate your choosing to spend some time with me. I hope you have your stitching with you and are ready to do some stitching. Let me know what you're working on. I've loved hearing what you guys have been working on while I work on my various projects. Just trying to thread my needle here. I should have gotten ready in advance, but I did not. Okay, so I think I have this set up okay. I hope that I'm not going to be knocking things and making you guys sick at all, so I apologize in advance if that happens. All right, so where are we? One moment, please. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So about here. Yes, okay. Trying to figure out where to start is always one of the biggest challenges. And I'm just sorry. See, I did not mean to make you sick there. This is not going to work for me. I need to adjust this a little bit. All right, hopefully that's okay for you guys. I needed to angle this a little bit more so I could see, since I don't have enough room to put my magnifier lens on. So we'll see how this goes. So how have you guys been? Things around here have been okay, just very, very busy, per usual. There. 3, and here. Yeah, things have been just pretty busy. Work's been quite busy. And I've lost the past couple of weekends in terms of having time off. I've had to work, not my work, but not my day job, 9-to-5 job, but my tarot business. I have been doing a couple of shows, couple of doing some readings at a crystal shop, and yesterday I also had or Sunday rather, today's Tuesday, I also had a private event that I went to go read for. It wasn't a very big one, it was only 5 people, but it was pretty interesting. It was at a swanky steakhouse here in Ottawa. That was fun. Except that the person who organized it, I think, well, she meant it as a surprise, which is, you know, for her employees, which is great. But what she didn't know was that one of the people there she said tarot was against her religion, which was just fine. I think though, what happened was I did readings for the other co-workers. It was no big deal. I mean, people's beliefs are people's beliefs. I don't, you know, I'm not going to say anything against that. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out where in the heck I am here. I'm supposed to be up here. 1, 2. Okay, so I did that one. 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. Okay. Sorry, I was a little bit lost. So anyway, so I did readings for a couple of other co-workers, and I guess so I took each person aside to a separate table, just for privacy reasons. Not everyone is comfortable having their cards read in front of other people, so I brought them to a separate table, each person, and then they would go back to the main table, have their appetizers and dinner, while I worked with the next person. And I guess after I did a couple of people, after I read the tarot for a couple of people, and that lady saw that it wasn't anything, you know, nothing crazy was being said, nothing crazy happened. It was just kind of it was for fun, totally for fun. I mean, some of the questions people had were serious, but not in the way of, yeah, they were just serious in the, you know, in terms of, you know, how's my new job gonna go, kind of thing. What can I do to make my new job successful, or to be successful at my new job? So those were the types of questions. There were others as well. I always get a question about when is my lover coming back. And as you might imagine, the answer is usually the answer is they're not. Unless there's some specific circumstances. I'm not saying that it's always that, but it happens to be that way. Anyway, to go back to what I was saying, after I'd done a couple of her coworkers, and she realized that things were, you know, it was a safe place, and they had a lot of fun. Then she was open to it as well. So I was able to read for her as well. I assured her that the cards are just paper and ink. There's nothing, you know, occult about them. Some people do use them in their occult practices. I'm not one of them. But anyway, yeah, so she had fun. And then their boss had me read for her in front of the full table. So that was fun because they were all weighing in on what questions she should ask. So that was a lot of fun. And if you've watched my videos before, you'll have heard me say that I really love. Did I make a mistake there? Don't think so. You'll have heard me say that I really love reading for people who want to be read for, of course. I'm never going to do a reading for someone against their will. That would be ridiculous. And not on. I think I'm gonna have to change my glasses here. Okay, let me mark off what I've done. Yeah, so I've been busy with that. Trying to do some stitching as well when I can. This past week I did definitely put more stitches in than I did the week before, which is not difficult because the week before I didn't do any. So I definitely did some stitching. I put in quite a bit of work into Dragons of the Sabbat. And how many black stitches do I have still? Oh, I finally got under the 30,000 stitch mark. I'm at 27,428 black stitches remaining. And those are half cross. Okay, did those, which is amazing. It didn't seem like I would ever get below that 30,000 mark. So I'm happy about that. I kind of made up this week for missing last week on it. So I put in almost 4,000 stitches this week into Dragons of the Sabbat over a couple of days. So yeah. Okay, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I talk to myself when I am stitching, especially counting. Saying it out loud helps me to remember what the number is, so. Hopefully I don't make as many mistakes as last time. I had been going to do my new start on this video, or work on my new start this afternoon. And I decided against that because it is not a full coverage and there will be quite a bit of counting involved. So I didn't think it was in my best interest, or in the best interest of my brain, to try to do that while I was also talking with you guys, because if you watched my last video, then you heard me complain about how much I have to rip out on my flowers of the month. So here we are, mid-August almost, and I still don't have July's finished. So I had initially been hoping that I would be able to finish both the July, catch up with July, and then also do August, but I don't think that's going to happen. Which is fine. I'm only going to be a month behind what I initially planned. And of course, that is only if I actually work on it. And I have to get motivated to rip out all the stuff that I had to rip out. What do we got here? 7. And I just haven't felt like it yet. I feel like I really should though, because the longer I let it sit, the less motivated I am to fix it. 5, 6, and 7. Which is not good, because then it'll sit in my whip pile for ages, and I don't want that. Mark off what I did. Hopefully you can't hear my husband speaking on the phone. He is a very loud talker. And even with my door closed, I can hear him. So hopefully you can't. Let's see. I have a kitty cat update today. So for the past few days, I have been dragging my butt to work, and gone to bed very early because my cat keeps waking me up. One of my cats, sometimes 2 of them, or sometimes both of them, but mostly it's Smoke, the little guy. Keeps waking me up in the middle of the night. So Sunday night, I wake up at 2:30 in the morning, and all I could hear is the sound of licking, like constant licking at the foot of my bed. And every once in a while I would hear Smoke kind of make some sounds. And I knew it was Smoke because he and Ash have very different voices, so I knew which one it was. I couldn't figure out, of course, it's the middle of the night, it's dark, I'm exhausted. Couldn't figure out what it was. And so I tried to ignore it, couldn't ignore it. Finally decided, okay, I'm going to check. So I turned on my nightlight and went to look over the edge of the bed, and there's Smoke with a baby mouse, a dead baby mouse, and he was just licking it. It was, I'm really sorry. I probably should have given a warning. I'm sorry. And I'm going to warn that the story is not over yet. But anyways, that baby mouse was dead. So usually about this time, every year or every other year, we end up with one or two mice in the house. So it's the time of year where they're starting to look for places to come indoors. We live in the countryside, so it typically happens. We we know that it happens in our furnace room in the basement is where they come in, but we haven't been able to lock down that area so that none can come through. So, yeah, so Ash usually catches them all. Not, like I said, it's only one or maybe two a year. In this case, what was freaking me out is that this one was a baby mouse. It was very small. And where there's a baby, of course, there has to be a mama and probably other babies. So I was thinking that maybe a mouse had come in and had babies, unbeknownst to us. I don't know. Anyways, it's fine. We'll figure it out. We have some more mouse traps, and of course we have the cats. And we're still. I think they're coming in from where some pipes come in, and they only need. The thing with mice is that they can squish their skeletons to like 1/4 of an inch or something, which isn't, it's not very big, and we haven't been able to close that gap yet. That's going to be happening this weekend. Anyway, so that was 2 nights ago, and so Smoke was very upset that I took his toy away, but it was really funny because after I had flushed it down the toilet, he spent the next half hour proclaiming what a good, proclaiming his kill. It was really funny, and it really was a different meow than we have ever heard from him before. So now I know what it sounds like when he catches something. So if it happens again in the middle of the night, then I will know right away and be able to take care of it. So that was 2 nights ago. Last night, I wake up at 1 in the morning to, again, sounds from Smoke, not licking this time, just he makes these little chirping sounds, and he wasn't stopping, and so again I turn on my nightlight, look at the foot of the bed, and there's Smoke with a live mouse this time. So he did not kill it, but he brought it to me nonetheless. But before I could get there, he dropped it, or he took his paw. Sorry, he didn't drop it. It was on the ground under his. He had a paw on it, and he took his paw off. So of course the mouse took off running, and Smoke proceeded to chase said mouse for quite some time. And unfortunately they were under the bed and stuff, so I couldn't help. Then Smoke decided he was tired of that game. And so I had actually, let me back up. When I realized that the mouse was alive and Smoke had let it escape, I closed our bedroom door because I didn't want Smoke to leave the room until he caught this flippin' mouse. I really, really, really don't like mice. I apologize for if any of you do or have them as pets. I just, nope. I'm happy for them to live outside, but no, not in my house. Anyway, so I closed the door to encourage Smoke to not give up. Well, and then of course I couldn't sleep, right? Because I'm just listening to him running around and jumping and pouncing and making all these sounds. And there's a live mouse in my room. There's no way I could sleep. So I pretty much sat up in bed for a while. Then I decided, okay, you know what? He'll catch it. For sure he'll catch it. So let me try to get some sleep, because I was so exhausted. So I turned off my light. And I had actually been trying to light under the bed to help Smoke find this thing, because it hid at one point and Smoke couldn't find it. So like I said, I'd closed the bedroom door. Well, when Smoke decided he was tired of that game, he started meowing like crazy to be let out. Probably so that he could go back down to the basement to see if he could find another mouse to give to Mom and Dad. And I was trying really hard not to, but my husband was really not happy. He was exhausted. He had to get up super early in the morning. So he finally got up and let Smoke out. So then, of course, I couldn't sleep at all because there's still a freaking mouse in my room, and I no longer have a cat in there to try to catch it if it comes out. Yeah. I did eventually fall asleep, only to be woken up 2 hours later, so now it's 4 in the morning, by the sounds of Smoke's victory shouts. Victory meows? Victory, I don't know. Victory sounds. So again, he had caught the mouse. It still wasn't dead. But as soon as I heard those sounds come out of Smoke's mouth this time, I jumped out of bed and was able to relieve Smoke of the mouse and get rid of it. And I am just realizing that I'm using only one strand here, where I should be using 2. Oh well. Okay, 2. Let me see if I can fix that. I'm just going to carry on from here because I don't think a little bit is going to matter much. So got rid of the mouse, and then of course we had another easily half an hour, 45 minutes of Smoke's victory laps around the room and victory sounds. And of course then he wants cuddles, but he had a mouse in his mouth. There's no way I was going to let him rub my face. Nope, not happening. So anyway, I'm hoping the one that he caught last night was so that was the second one, was not a baby. So I'm hoping that that was the mama and that there are no more. And I'm hoping that if there are, that it will be Ash that catches it, or them, because Ash will take care of it properly and just bring me the dead offerings. So I'm really sorry that this smoke and ash update was a bit of a gross one, but it is something that we live with in the country. Could be worse. We could be dealing with something different, like rats, I suppose. Anyway, let's talk about something different. Skip 1, do 3. I'm gonna turn this light on. There we go. Shine a little light on the subject. So I'm still working on pages 5 and 6. I'm doing the 2 pages together just because, well, you can see what it is, right? It's the underside of the mushroom, and I'm able to do some bulk stitching if I do it that way, and hopefully also eliminate any potential lines that might have happened if I just worked page by page. My markup RXP says that I'm at about 83% through the second set of pages that we got. So we got 3 pages in the first installment in January, another 3 pages in the second installment in April, and those are the ones that I'm working on now. So page 4 was right there, and I'm working on pages 5 and 6. So I'm at 82% of those. I haven't started pages 7, 8, and 9 yet, but I haven't uploaded those to Markup RXP. I know that in Pattern Keeper you can. I've been hearing people talk about how they were able to upload the new set of pages and then download or upload or whatever, however it goes, their progress, so they don't lose their progress. I haven't figured out how to do that in Markup RXP, so I just kind of work on the 3 pages. I upload each file individually as I come to them. Let me just see where I am here. Right here. Okay. And then when I'm finished those 3 pages, I delete that file and upload the next one. Excuse me while I double and triple check where I am. Yeah, okay, over here. It's usually a little easier and a little quicker to do this because I have my magnifier lamp, but the camera stand is in the way, so I can't do that, unfortunately. But that's okay. That is okay. So I still haven't done my new start for this 2-week period. I will do it if I can get my my weekly goal, let's say, done for Merry Mushroom Village today. I may actually start today. We'll see. But I definitely do want to do it. I don't want to let another 2 weeks go by without starting it. Because the new start I want to do, I don't know if it has a title. Well, I think it does. It's just called Christmas Rant. I got it on Etsy, and it's just the rant that what's his name in the movie? I'm blanking. Chevy Chase's character in Christmas Vacation. I'm totally blanking on his name. Clark? Yes, Clark, of course, Griswold. He has a big rant. Near the end of the movie, I guess, where he finds out he's been enrolled instead of a money bonus, cash bonus, he gets enrolled in a Jelly of the Month club. And he realizes he's in big doo-doo because he put a down payment on for a pool, and he knew the check was going to bounce because he was really counting on that. Anyways, so there's a big long rant, which is pretty funny. Christmas Vacation around my house is pretty popular with my family. And so I want to do it in time before Christmas. And I was thinking maybe even to do it twice. So if I could do it twice, then what I would do, let me just grab scissors. Then what I would do would be obviously keep one for myself because I really want it for our home. And the second one, so we always do, with one side of our family, we always do what's it called? A white elephant Christmas, where everyone draws. We don't get everybody gifts because frankly, everybody has more than enough of whatever they need. And if they need something, if I need something, I'll just go get it, right? Like everybody has the means to sustain themselves. So we don't get everybody gifts because it's just kind of a waste. We prefer to do experiences and stuff. So anyways, but what we do is kind of a white elephant thing. So we all draw, I'm trying to figure out where I am again because I lost track. So 40s is somewhere around here. Right here, up here, all the way up here. So we draw a number from 1 to however many people are participating, and everybody buys just one gift, and it's anonymous. We don't say who's gotten what or whatever. And then, like I said, we draw a number. So if you draw number 1, then you're the first person to go pick a gift. So they're all in a pile under the tree, and you get to pick whichever one you want. And then if you're number 2, then you have the choice. You can decide whether you want to steal number 1's gift or whether you want to pick another gift under the tree. And there's always something Christmas vacation related, and there's always a run on them, so it's really quite funny. Anyways, it's fun. We used to do gifts for everyone when the kids were younger. Frankly, my kids still get presents. Because they are spoiled that way. Where am I? Am I here? Yes. Okay. I think that's going to be a common refrain during this video. Where am I? Because I keep losing my spot. And I guess that is yeah, I'm lost again. I'm here somewhere. I guess that's par for the course given, oh, that's why, because I did it already. There. Given that I'm sort of working everywhere, I guess if I was working consistently from the top down, I wouldn't lose my spot as much. But I'm not doing that because way too much confetti that way. I prefer bulk stitching. So 1, 2, 3. So let me know not only what you're working on, but how many stitches you've gotten done by the end of this video. I'd love to hear. As I usually say, it's not a race. It's not for any reason other than just curiosity's sake. Okay, there's only 4 stitches left on this page, and I'm just trying to figure out where they are here. I don't see them. Oh, there they are. Okay, they're over here. So we're going to end this one. Oh, this reminds me. One of my viewers, and I'm sorry, I don't recall right at this minute who it was, had suggested doing the pin stitch to secure my threads from the front, because I hate when I'm on these. I don't know. I prefer to secure from the front rather than flipping the Q-snap all the time, just because it annoys me to have to do that. It takes time. It's just annoying. So if I can do it easily from the front, then I would much prefer to do that. And so this kind person said, try the pin stitch because it works wonderfully for her. I have tried the pin stitch, and unfortunately I could not get it to stay. I had done it on my tarot cell quite a bit because there were all these individual, like single stitch stars, or the center of stars were just single stitches, and I had nothing else. There was nothing else in the vicinity to anchor to. And of course the centers of the stars were black, so I did not want to carry. So it was a real pain in the ass, and a bunch of them came out and came loose. So I've tried it a bunch of times since then as well, and they just keep coming loose for me. So if anyone has a good video or knows of a really good video where they show step by step, sort of a close-up, I would really appreciate it, because yeah, I would like to learn how to do it properly. Okay, 608 I need next, because we're done with that. We're done with that color. I think sometimes some of the videos that I've watched on how to do it, they don't show it close up, or their hands in the way, the person's hands in the way. So I can't see exactly what is being done. I know they're explaining it, but I learn visually more than auditorily. Is that a word? So if anybody knows, like I said, of a video where the person's hand's not in the way and they show it close up, I would really love to hear about that. And I will definitely give it another go. I think until I get a good hang of it, I would probably only do it on full coverage, because I feel like it's safer that way. Because with full coverage, you kind of have stitches on each side of it, right? It's very dense stitching. And so I feel like the friction of the threads against each other also helps to keep the threads in place. Short of, someone really messing with it. I don't know. Maybe I'm out to lunch, but I also feel like if one thread comes out, it's much less visible on full coverage. So yeah, so I've been color completing here, which I like. I don't think I will color complete well, definitely not on this one, but I don't think I'll be color completing all of my projects in terms of extreme color completion. I don't mind doing it by page or by a couple of pages, though. I get too bored. And yeah, I've done 223,000 or something stitches of black. Sorry, 226,000 stitches of black on Dragons of the Sabbat. So I'm definitely color completing that color. Just because I want to get through all the black and then only have to deal with color. I will more than likely not be color completing the rest of it. I think I will just do it dragon by dragon. So I think my goals going forward for Dragons of the Sabbat, assuming that I finish all of the black this year, which is my goal, will be to tackle one dragon at a time. And I don't have a sense yet as to how long each one would take. So I don't know if I do one every other month, one a quarter. I don't know. I'll figure that out. I'll figure that out after. I'll probably be gung-ho to get the first one done, the first dragon done, just because I'm really anxious to see how that piece is going to look with an actual dragon on it instead of just the black. So I guess that will give me an idea of how long each dragon will take, and then I'll set a goal from that. So I think I'm doing pretty well on Dragons of the Sabbat. I only started it last year, and I think I started partway through the year. I want to say, don't quote me on it, but I want to say around mid-April-ish. So that's what, about 7-8 months to do, 8 months to do all of the outside corners. And, well, no, actually, because I finished the outside corners this year. So yeah, never mind. I think I had two of the corners done within that 8 months. And then I finished the other 2 corners at Stitch North this year. And since then I've been working on all of the rest of it, so. But I'm officially at 90% of the black complete. So I'm pretty excited about that. Sorry, I know I keep going back to talk about it, but I am really excited about it, and I'm pretty proud of how much I've been able to stick to my goals, like make a goal and then stick to it, because most oftentimes, unless it's for work, if it's for work, whole different story. I'm super goal oriented, and I absolutely will not miss a deadline for work, even if it's just one that I set for myself. But for anything else, creative, hobby, knitting, whatever, you know, it's a hobby. So whenever I have tried to set a goal, I typically haven't followed through. Like I do it for a short while, and then I lose interest. So that was why I think last year, I don't know, last year or the year before, I had started Whip Go, and I think I lasted 4 months doing Whip Go, and then it just stressed me out. Okay. Sorry, I had an interruption there. And I'm just threading my needle. Okay, so now we're over here. And it is really hot in here, so I'm going to turn my fan on. I hope you can't hear. I hope you won't be able to hear it. I think on my other videos you could hear it a little bit, but I hope it's not too distracting. Maybe it'll just sound like white noise for you guys. I forgot what I was saying. It's okay. I've still not been able to find my Gamer Nouveau piece, which is really annoying me. I know it's got to be in here somewhere, and I have been generally pretty careful about making sure that my stitching goes in one of the baskets, one of the baskets that are specifically for stitching. And I'm pretty sure, actually I don't remember if I had it for my whip parade or not. Now I'm double thinking that, or double guessing myself on that. Maybe I didn't have it there either. Wouldn't be the only one. I still cannot believe that I completely missed 2 of my projects, and one of them being one of the most important ones that I've been working on, which is Home Sweet Home, which is my anniversary piece. I'm still shocked. Oh well. The other one I missed was Colosseum. That's okay. So if you've not seen those pieces, check out one of my other videos, because those 2 come out. They're 2 of my focus pieces, so they come out every single time. Except for the last video, because I did hardly any stitching, and I don't think I've worked on Colosseum in 3 weeks now. Given that it's only Tuesday, there is a possibility that I will be able to work on it, on Colosseum this week. Sorry. But I'm not going to stress about it. I've been watching a lot of FlossTube. I don't know about you guys. Thank you for watching mine. Many of you are very kind. And watch my videos. So I've been watching a bunch, and so many people, so it's just August, and so many people are already setting goals for 2025. For my hobbies, I don't think I will be doing that. I think I will be waiting until the end of the year to make my goals for 2025. But you never know. I mean, right now, what I'm doing is working for me, so why change it, right? I do want to switch some things up, at least in terms of projects. Maybe not the format, but some projects, you know, maybe have different okay, I'm sorry, I had yet another interruption. It's the story of my life these days. Oh, goals, that's what I was saying. Yeah, so things have been working for me, so I'm not ready to change things up just yet. I'll think about it towards the end of the year. Maybe I'm thinking that what I'll do is I'll do a year-end whip parade, and I'm thinking that during the year-end whip parade, what I want to do, sorry, give me a second to figure out where I am here. Okay, I'm thinking that what I want to do, just for myself, but also for you guys, is take some screenshots from my start of the year video, or my end of year video from last year, for my focus projects. I won't do it for everyone because that's just, honestly, it's way too much work and I'm lazy. Nope, I messed up there. But for my focus pieces, so the pieces that I have put in the most work on, my focus pieces being not only the 6 that I'm working on now, but also the 2 that I had in the first half of the year, which was Deanna and Cupid and it's not gonna work. Okay, Deanna and Cupid and Honeymoon Sunset, because I did put in quite a lot of work into those as well for the first 6 months of the year. I worked on them every single week, and they were pretty hefty goals. So I'm gonna take screenshots of where those projects were at the end of last year when I did my whip parade, and then compare with where we are at the end of this year, because I think that's going to be super motivating for me to see just how much change there's been. Because especially when you're looking at things every day, or every week, consistently, we don't necessarily notice how things are changing, right? It's kind of like when our kids, it's kind of like our kids' height. We see them every day, so we don't notice them growing. But we notice, in the when the pants are getting shorter and stuff like that. But yet other people's kids, when we don't see them very often, every time it looks like they've shot up a foot. So I'm really anxious to see that. Like I said, I will only do that for those 8 projects, because the rest really haven't had that much work, so kind of no point there. And then it's likely that my focus projects will change a little. Yeah, I think so. I think. So I'm hoping that this project won't be a thing next year. So if I actually manage to stay caught up, then this will be a finish by the end of the year. So this one will go away. So that's good. My Flowers of the Month needs to be finished this year. And I only say needs because I want it finished this year. Not for any other reason. Where am I again? Oh, there we are. Okay. Home Sweet Home will continue because I want that finished. So, and I know it's going to take me a while. I need to mark these off because I'm getting confused again. Okay. So yeah, so it's going to take me, maybe at least a couple more years. I don't know. I'm going to see where I end up at the end of this year and see how many stitches I have left. Actually, I guess I could probably do that now because I'll know how many stitches I'll have. More or less, approximately, I'll know how many stitches I'll have by the end of this year, because I'm working to a weekly goal every week, obviously. The weekly goal. and usually I do a little bit more, or at least I finish the thread, so I'm doing a little bit more. So it will be a conservative estimate, and yeah, and then see how many stitches will likely remain at the end of the year, and then put some stitch goals to it and see if I, you know, if I work to those goals, when will the project be finished? I mean, I knew from the start that I wasn't going to be able to, there was no way that I was going to be able to finish Home Sweet Home by this time next year, or 11 months from now, actually. Or even earlier if I wanted to get it framed. It just wasn't going to happen because I'm only going to get to 50% by the end of this year, approximately. But I was still hoping, right? We can still hope against hope. And yeah, but and at the same time, I think part of it was because I didn't want to take my foot off the gas this year. I think I was a little worried that if I said, okay, I'm going to give myself another 5 years to do it, that I was going to like really take another 5 years to do it, or perhaps even longer. Whereas if I keep my foot on the gas, then hopefully I'll have a chance of getting it done in maybe another 2 years. That would be good, because that would be 4 years in the making. So that's pretty good, I think. And it boggles my mind, though, that I could have had it done by the end of this year if I didn't also have Dragons of the Sabbat, or if I was more of a monogamous stitcher. But that also is a pipe dream. That isn't happening. I get far too bored too quickly, and then I would start to feel like it's a chore. And then, okay, I'm gonna mark these off. How often do you guys have to mark off your stitches? I have to mark mine off. I mean, I guess it depends on how much bulk stitching there is. But I find that I have to mark off pretty frequently. No, maybe every 10 stitches at the most. Sometimes more. Like I said, it depends on how much bulk stitching there is, and how much confetti there is. Because I find that I lose my spot very frequently. I still have this thing with my eyes telling my brain that everything is to the left and down. Now we're kind of overcompensating, and it's to the right and down. So I'm hoping that, you know, now. I did those two as well. I'm hoping that, you know, now we're moving in the right direction, and at least we'll be in the middle, where it's supposed to be. Speaking of my brain and eye issues, So yeah, so I am still going to vision therapy to help my brain and eyes correct themselves. So doing lots of exercises, which thankfully aren't as painful as they used to be. But one of the exercises I'm still having a really hard time with. Did you guys ever used to draw 3D squares when you were kids? I used to draw them all the time. I had so much fun drawing 3D squares. Well, one of my exercises to build up this, so we're trying to build up the stamina for things that are up close, sort of within arm's length. Beyond that, things are okay. My brain's getting the correct message, but within within arm's length, things are much more dicey, and my brain isn't accepting those messages properly. So one of the exercises is I have a drawing of a 3D square where the inside lines are a different color than the outside lines. So you have a 3D square where most of the lines are, say, blue, but then there are 3 lines that are different colors. And so depending on how you're looking at this cube, you can see those 3 lines form either the inside of the cube or the outside of the cube. And right now, so your eyes actually prefer to see the 3 lines, the 3 inner lines, as the outside of the cube. So I'm trying to build we're trying to build my stamina for being able to hold my focus, because that's the thing, that's the problem, is my eyes aren't focusing, they're not working together. And so I can only hold focus on, so basically keeping the cube in only one direction, right? One shape, for lack of a better word, for a few seconds. And then my eyes revert back to seeing the cube in the other direction. You guys should try it out. Let me know, how long can you keep focus for? I would be curious to know what normal people experience. The other thing is, so again with the 3D, so I have one of those plastic, what are those things called? It's like clear plastic page that has 3D bonbons in it, and I can see those no problem. I can see those as 3D. So that's good. The other one I have, though, is a scatter graph. So anybody who's older than 30, maybe, may remember, like, it was, I think in the 80s and 90s, it was all the rage where you'd have these images that were hidden within a scatter graph. and you'd have to try to focus your eyes in such a way that you could see the 3D image and not all the rest of it. Well, number one, I was never able to see those ever. It didn't matter. I could stare at it for hours. People tried to explain to me how to see it, look through it, unfocus your eyes, and I could never see it. And now part of the therapy is to try to see it. And I've been trying for 2 months now, but I still can't. So I'm hoping that as we build stamina with this cube business, that I'll be successful. I don't know. It would be nice. Okay, 1 second. Cut the thread. Yeah. I was watching Suki the Brown-Eyed Stitcher. Her, I don't know if it's her latest one, but it's the one where she talks about some of her challenges with the moving company that she's had. And if you don't watch Suki, you should. You probably already do if you watch me. Okay. It really sucks. I only have 6 stitches left and I need to start another whole thread. That's annoying. Anyway, in that she was talking about how before she moved, she was getting some neurofeedback treatment for her head, and how she found it very helpful for her. So I tried it. I tried it for a substantial amount of time, and it is cool in one way, because you literally, they put this cap on your head, and then you do different things. So part of it for me was to literally just play video games, but you're playing video games without any controllers. It's telling your brain. So say you're playing Pac-Man, if you remember Pac-Man. So you're the Pac-Man, and it's just through your brain that you're making the Pac-Man move. And there's all these different levels and mazes and different, anyways, there's a whole bunch of, so it was kind of cool, because at first, like, I was looking for the mouse. Where's the mouse? And then secondly, trying to figure out how you tell your brain to do something that normally it does without you thinking about it, right? It's like trying to remember to, I don't know, to breathe. You don't remember. It's an involuntary thing, and it happens on its own. But in that instance, you had to actually figure it out. And then it moved, so that part was okay. I was doing it for my migraines, because I was told that it might actually improve the migraine situation, because my symptoms were very, very, very similar to someone who has had many repeated concussions. And so, oops, sorry, I'm sorry. And so, this is one of the therapies that they use for that. But after that, so once we progressed past that, then the neurofeedback was they just put this cap full of wires on your head. And you basically just sit there. Yeah, you basically just sit there and do nothing. And it sends these signals through your brain to try to retrain your brain into not seeing everything as a pain, not seeing everything as a pain response. I'm just picking the next color. The next one is 666. Which sounds great, but actually what was happening for me was that they actually started giving me worse migraines. So we started off at whatever, 45 minutes, and then cut it down to half an hour, and then cut it down to 15 minutes, and then cut it down to 5 minutes, and I was just having these stabbing pains through my head. So obviously it wasn't working, so I stopped going. But I am very happy to say that my new course of therapy with this infusion of this medication every 3 months, plus some daily medication, plus Botox, has actually been making, it's made the most difference out of anything I've tried before. And believe me, I have tried a whole lot. Pretty much, you name it, I've tried it. So we're very hopeful that since now it's been, I've had the Botox twice now, and with every time, with every session, both the infusion and the Botox individually, plus hopefully together, the effect is cumulative. So the second time is better than the first time, and the third time is better than the second time, and so on. So my doctor and I are very hopeful that I'll be able to come off of the daily medication, which would be fantastic. I really dislike taking medication. I have to, but if I can stop taking that, that would be flippin' awesome. Let me say that. So wish me luck, everybody. Yeah, so how's the summer going for you guys? Or if you're in the southern hemisphere, how's the winter going? Guess you're almost heading into spring. So you must be happy about, or spring? Yes, spring. So you must be happy about that. I know I'm always happier once spring starts and the days start getting longer. I don't want to complain about the heat, because in 2 months I'll be complaining about the cold. But I do live in one of the coldest places on the planet. By far not the coldest place, but it's pretty freaking cold. And I just hate all the layers I have to put on. And the boots, and the snow, and the slush, and the mess. been very warm here though. Unusually warm for my city, and I think that has been the case maybe for much of North America. I don't know. All the places that I've been talking to people in, not that that was proper English, but I think you know what I mean. People are all complaining about the heat. It's all right. It has this week finally, like we went through a couple of weeks of insane rain and tornado warnings. So that was annoying. But this past week well, so far anyways, this past weekend has been amazing. Oh, except for what was it? I want to say Saturday. No, Sunday. Sunday, because we had guests over for dinner. So it was a beautiful afternoon, like gorgeous. It was not too hot. It was like 24 degrees Celsius, which is amazing. I wish that I lived somewhere where it was that temperature year round. I would never complain about the weather. So anyway, it was beautiful. And when I got home from my tarot reading stuff, I was on the deck with everyone, my family and my in-laws, and my kids and their and their friends. And I was stitching. So I was stitching on Dragons of the Sabbat outside. It was beautiful. Then it was time for dinner. So, and we were going to, after dinner, so we were going to eat dinner just inside because it was going to be pretty messy. We were having ribs or something. So we said, okay, let's just have dinner inside. And then, oh my God. Okay. I'm going to have to go. My sister has just texted me that a friend has committed suicide. And I really have to go. So I'm really sorry. But I hope you're all having a wonderful time, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.